Do you want to know what happened today? I walked past Chiwetel Ejiofor again for the second time. I keep forgetting that he lives real close to where I work. And where I work is an area in London. Last time I saw him was when I started this new job a couple of months back. Saw him walking his dog, didn't I? And I thought, is that Chiwetel? Is that Chiwetel walking his dog? It was. Carried on with my day. Granted, a more excitable day after that. Forgot about it. Today, what happens? I get off the bus, walk into my work. Who do I see? Out the corner of my eye? It looks like ruddy Chiwetel. It was Chiwetel walking his dog. And, walked up to him. I said, Chiwetel, last time I didn't say anything. Today, I would be remiss if I were not to mention how much, I love you. I love your dog. Keep doing you. And he went, thank you so much, Stu. And I went, Chiwetel, how do you know my name? He went, Stu, I watch all of your videos. I listen to all of your podcasts. I am, by all means, your biggest fan. And I said, Chiwetel, this is firstly earth-shattering news. Can I have a second to compose myself? And he said, sure. And I said, secondly, I'm speechless. I am speechless. Chiwetel Ejiofor, one of the strongest actors of recent years, depending on who you ask, watches all my stuff and is my biggest fan. This is incredible. Can I take this moment to say, this should not be how it's going. I'm your biggest fan, Chiwetel. I'm your biggest fan. And he said, oh, Stuart, come on, don't put yourself down. You're great. You're great at what you do. You just keep doing you, Stuart. Then he went on with his day. So that's not what happened at all. But what did actually happen is I got off the bus and I saw him at the corner of my eye and I went, that's Chiwetel. It was Chiwetel. I walked past him. He walked past me. He definitely looked at me. Okay? He definitely looked at me. And I carried on with my day. God, what a way to start your day. What a way to start your day. I feel like I'm going to see him again, right? Because there's no way that this just doesn't happen again. He lives nearby. He walks his dog. Apparently, a similar time to I get off the bus. So if this does happen again, I'm sort of thinking of things to say, to like sort of whisper to him as I walk past him. Because, last time it was across the road. Today it was like, we walked next to each other, right? I essentially brushed shoulders with the man. So I'm thinking, what do I say as I walk past? Like, just... He walks next to me as we, side with each other, shoulder to shoulder. I whisper something like, you're my biggest fan. No, not you're my biggest, I'm your biggest fan. Or maybe quotes. I want to survive. I say that to him. Or I should start plugging the podcast. Just, he's going on his walk thinking, sure hope no one notices me or asks for a picture, because I imagine that's very annoying. Walks past, to him, a random 23-year-old male with a man bun thinking, hey, man bun, that's still a thing. Weirdo. Walks past him. All he hears is, listen to the StuTalks podcast now. And he goes, what? Doesn't think much of it. Later on that night, he goes, I should listen to the StuTalks podcast. Could you imagine? It will work. So that was my famous celebrity sighting of the day. Anyone else had anything? You can't answer that because this is a podcast. It's a one-way street. But I'm sure someone will have seen something remotely famous in their day. But that really did kick my day off to a good start. It really did. Let's get into some movie news. Avatar. Have you heard of it? You probably have, because it's, what is it? One of the, like the highest grossing film ever? If you haven't heard of it, well, to be honest, good for you. Good for you. You might as well keep it that way. Your life's probably better. I say that. I do enjoy Avatar, so I don't know what that joke was about. But it was a film which came out quite some time ago. The exact date I cannot remember. What is it, 2011? Was Avatar 2011? Here's some quick knowledge. I'm definitely not... 2009. How wrong was I? Christ. Avatar 2009, little film about blue people. Went and got a lot of money, didn't it? James Cameron made it, and he was like, oh man, that really did get me some money. And then he was like, oh, okay, developing sequels. And then it started to, you get all these stories like, oh, he's doing loads more. They announced already that they're working on, what is it, four four Avatar sequels, right? And they were like, right, we'll write it all back to back. We'll just get filming it, and then we'll release them all. And then this news, we had a little update to the old Avatar sequel journey, and that is that they've apparently all got names now. They've all got names. Now, I don't know whether this is... I'm not sure if this is 100% what the names are going to be, because as far as I'm aware, Fox, the studio behind them, hasn't actually officially confirmed this. It was mentioned by a BBC report, I believe. And it's a good laugh. It is a good laugh, because they're just... I don't know, firstly... It's almost impossible not to be cynical about the fact that we've got this many Avatar sequels coming. So immediately you've got a cynical mindset. You read these titles and you just laugh at them. You just can't help but laugh. So the 4 titles apparently for the next Avatar 4 films, although this might be completely not true, it's not been confirmed yet as far as I'm aware, Avatar 2 will be called, might be called, Avatar The Way of Water. Okay, Avatar 3 might be called Avatar, the Seed Bearer. What? Avatar 4 might be called Avatar, the Tolkien Rider. Avatar 5 might be called Avatar, the Quest for Eywa. Just silly names, aren't they? They're just silly names. Who knows? They might end up... Once you've seen the film, you might be going... What a great name that was. Really did sum up that film. But you read them now and you just go, that's funny. The Way of Water in particular is just... They all just sound so cliche. Cliche titles. Avatar, The Way of Water. You're like, what does that mean? Sounds close to The Shape of Water as well. James, please. And then Avatar, the Seed Bearer. The Seed Bearer. That sounds so mundane. That sounds so mundane. Is it just going to be Sam Worthington going around his garden dropping seeds? Just silent, almost silently for about 2 hours, just sort of running around. It's sort of like that almost ASMR style. You can hear the rustling of his hands, or puts his hand in a bag of seeds, go with the corn out for the thing. You get to the end and you go, groundbreaking stuff, but did we really just need to watch 2 hours of a guy sowing seeds? The Seed Bearer. Can we not do that? And then the Tolkien Rider. I immediately just think Tolkien Powder. Could you imagine if they were like Avatar, Talcum Powder? That'd be incredible, arguably better name than all of these. And the Quest for Eywa. Something so epic and so silly. It's like, you're almost cool. You're almost cool. If these are the actual titles for these Avatar films, they just think so highly of themselves, don't they? Which is again the overall issue that I think a lot of people are taking, with me included, with these Avatar sequels, is that they, we know we're going to make them. We know they're going to be big. We're willing to put money behind 4 of these new sequels. Here are the titles. They seem a bit too confident that these are going to do amazingly, Because I'd argue no one cares about Avatar anymore. Oh, you've done a theme park at Disney World. Great. I mean, it looks incredible. I want to go. But really, do we want 4 more of these films? The time's passed, James. The time's passed. But these titles have really just given me an excuse to talk about other things to do with the Avatar sequels, which are weird, funny, strange things. First of those being, I still haven't quite wrapped my head around the fact that James Cameron... Do you remember James Cameron came out and said... what did he say? He was like, we're still doing Avengers films? Hasn't the world got Avengers fatigue? Something like that. Obviously paraphrasing. Avengers fatigue? Really, James? Avengers, the world's board of Avengers. You're right. You're absolutely right. The world is not bored of Avatar, that big 3D film that came out in 2009 that we definitely all watch every year. Joke there being, we don't watch it every year. We don't. I occasionally think to myself, hey, we could whack Avatar on if I'm like hungover and I just need something exciting for my eyes. I mean, it's technically impressive, but dude, we got Avatar fatigue, man. The dude's blind. He's blind to his own he's like, oh, it's weird. It's like he hasn't stepped out of his house or gone anywhere on the internet, and he just released Avatar, saw it was got loads of money, sat in his house and was like, cool, just need to write all the others. Took way too long. Came out 9 years later and was like, yeah, let's do it. And everyone's like, dude, that ship passed. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a hard no from me. And he's just like, no. You just don't know what's coming. It's gonna be good. James, no. We don't need. You should have tested the water with another one and seen whether or not the spice is still there, the spark is still there. I'd argue it really isn't still there, James. I'd argue it really isn't. It'd be a different story if these were all announced and being made 2 years after Avatar first came out, but it's not. It's 9 years later. Stop it, James. Stop it. And also, of course, he had to get water in there, didn't he? Bloody James, go and have a wank in the ocean, mate. He loves it, doesn't he? He loves the ocean. It's kind of cute. So anyway, yeah. Next 4 Avatar movies have all got silly names to no one's surprise. Fun times in Hollywood. Oh, James, you cutie. To be clear, I absolutely would love it if they actually were all amazing. How good would that be? What a lovely surprise. We don't get surprises that fun often. I'd love it. I just don't think it's going to happen. So I'm going to be throwing my voice into the well of millions of other voices that are all shouting, hey, James, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Maybe sit down. He needs someone along the way to go, James, let's sit down with me. Let's have a cup of tea. First thing I want to say is, can we just think this through and maybe not do it? But no one's done that yet. No one will do. They've come too far. Oh, Avatar. But next up in movie news this week is a little bit more of, this isn't sequels, it's reboots. Everyone's favourite other side of that coin. Because we got some news about... Now, this is a sort of news which is slightly annoying for many reasons. Firstly, it comes out and immediately everyone's obviously going to be like, hey, what the fuck? But also because I'm a big defender of like reboots and sequels a lot of the time and remakes, right? Not to say that I think they're all going to be amazing, and sometimes I do get annoyed about things I love being remade, but I'm often like, hey, just like, if it's shit, it's shit, but just because it is a remake doesn't mean it's going to be shit. Case in point, Suspiria comes out next week, just came out in the US, is a remake of a beloved classic, and I think is arguably as good, if not better. It's an amazing film for its own right. It's a remake. It's an amazing piece of art, right? It's got just as much chance as being good as any other film. The only difference is this idea, we've already seen it done by someone else. So yeah, obviously that does change something, but I'm often a defender, right, of reboots, remakes and stuff, even though sometimes things annoy me. But then you get like news like this comes out, right, and you go, it's not helping the cause, is it? Because you can't help, because obviously people are going to be like, hey, what? And that is the news that we're apparently getting a Shrek reboot. And I would be lying if when I didn't read that, I didn't immediately go, oh, let's not do that. But I've had some time to mull it over, and I don't think it's wholly a bad thing. Put your pitchforks down. Look, it's probably going to be shit, right? I don't know. It could be amazing. It's got just as much chance of being great as it has being shit. It could be a good idea. When you actually read into it, why just let him do it? Fine, why not? It'll probably make a lot of people a lot of money. There's a chance it could be good. But the reason behind it does make sense, I guess, because Shrek is an old franchise now. A lot of people grew up with it when they were kids when they watched it, myself included. So it's very beloved for a lot of people. So that's what immediately evokes this kind of immediately negative reaction where people go, oh, don't you fucking dare touch that, because I liked that when I was a kid. But apparently it's not like a complete remake. Like, they are intending to get the original cast back in some way. And they don't quite know exactly what they're doing, but the idea is that they want to get it into a newer audience, because the audience that watched Shrek originally are quite old now. They want to get more kids on, because why not? That's how an industry like Hollywood works. They want new audiences to lap up their stuff so they can make money. This is nothing new. So yeah, they're probably going to reboot Shrek and Puss in Boots. So immediately I go, don't do it. But yeah, as I said, I think it through and I'm like, well, there's been other remakes and reboots that haven't been awful. it's been a long time since we've had a good Shrek film. They kind of fucked it into the ground with the later sequels to Shrek, so that's annoying. So maybe it's good to have a fresh start. I don't know how they'll do it. Why not have new Shrek films for a new younger audience now to get new people on, and we can just stick with the old ones like we liked. It doesn't change the fact that Shrek 1 and 2 were great. I love them. Great little animated films. But it is always frustrating when you're like, oh, actually remakes and reboots aren't actually always terrible, and then Hollywood throws you something like that, and it's like, yeah, but we're actually doing a Shrek reboot. You're like, you're not helping yourself, Hollywood. You should have surprised. You should have dropped it as a surprise at some point. I know that's arguably impossible in Hollywood because everything that ever happens in Hollywood is going to get leaked and found out, especially something like this. But it's like, oh man, like you, especially so close to see when you you see like a film like Suspiria, you're like, what a great remake. Remakes might actually be not that bad. And then Hollywood's like, it's almost just like slips you a note and gets out of there like, hey, but also we're doing, just read that. And you read it and it's like, we're going to reboot Shrek. And you're like, Hollywood, you were doing so well.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to
the StuTalks podcast.